Thanks for joining us. Dusty Sonnenberg, Field Leader with the Ohio's Country Journal and Ohio AgNet. We are on the Ohio Field Leader Roadshow in Henry County, visiting today with Todd Hesterman. We're out running beans. Todd, the last field of beans for the season. Before we talk about the beans, let's talk about the farm and the family a little bit. Who all's involved?
Right now, my dad's still involved. He's 89 years old and still kicking, and helps when he can. He's mainly transportation mode and things like that. But he's a real asset to have around yet. And then my youngest son, Joe, he's my right-hand man. He's what makes this all go around right now. Without him, I'd back way off. But it's fun to watch them come around and see the interest that they have. And it's very possible it's going to continue the next generation. So pretty happy about that whole scenario. And we're actually in a field that's right next to the original 120 homestead that my great-grandfather settled here. It's taken me a long time. I'm 62 years old, and I finally got it all back into one name, and it's 5 different parcels now, but it's all under the same name. So most of it, I think just about all of it now, is Centennial Farm. So he originally bought 80 acres and then added 40 to it. So it's kind of been a dream of mine to get that all put back together, and we finally got that done this year, just in time for someone else to deal with it. So, but yeah, we farm about 1,300 acres or so, and it's just my son and I and my dad.
Well, Todd, tell us a little bit about the other crops that you grow on the farm and your production practices. Conservation till, no-till, what do you do?
Yeah, we grow soybeans for the most part, corn, wheat, little popcorn. We're predominantly no-till. About the only tillage we do is like for this farm, after a drainage project, we have to heal it up a little bit, and that's what I'm trying to do right now, is transition it into a continuous no-till farm. But we do the filter strips and practices like that. We've got some monitoring stations here that monitor our water that's leaving one of the farms. So we're cognizant of what's going on in Lake Erie and in the Maumee watershed. And trying to pay attention to the details and be the best stewards that we can with resources that we have.
You spend a lot of time on the Henry County Soil and Water District Board, obviously participate in H2 Ohio. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was on the Soil and Water Board for 18 years. And decided it was time to concentrate on farming instead of soil and water. But yeah, the H2 Ohio program was a lot of the projects and ideas that came from the Phosphorus Task Force years ago, and that's been ongoing for a long time. So it gives you an opportunity to take some of the risk out of trying something new. I don't use H2 Ohio to maximize H2 Ohio dollars, but I do use it to manage risk. If we want to make a change that we think will be better, and we use some of that money that's available to make those commitments and see what kind of effect it has on the operation, and do something we think is right for the environment.
Well, Todd, let's talk a little bit about the area. What are the soil types that you farm in here?
These are pretty heavy. Now, it's relative. There's a lot worse soils, but predominantly they're Hoytvilles, some Lenawee, some Marimill. This one's probably predominantly Hoytville.
Okay.
And there are different differences in Hoytville, whether it's poorly drained or moderately well drained. But this one we've invested in tile because it's more of a poorly drained Hoytville. But they are productive in a dry year like this year. The yields we're getting, I'm pretty happy with here in Henry County. My sands in Fulton County, they really suffered on the high sands.
As far as the operation, north, south, east, west, about how far do you have to travel from the base?
We are about 13 miles north to south, and then maybe 6-7 miles east to west. Predominantly where I live here, we've got a pretty good chunk, and then where my dad bought years ago, there's another nice chunk, and then the stuff in Fulton County was one where a good friend of mine had passed away, and we farmed that for his wife, and she was nice enough to give us a shot at it. I had always planted his corn, and we always had a great relationship, and so I've been very blessed to carry on his work. That's not how I like to pick up ground by any means, but it has kind of helped stretch us out to where we might have a problem south, we might not have it north, or vice versa, but most of my corn is in Fulton County because we could get going there a lot sooner, so it's nice to be spread out a little bit.
Todd Hesterman, part of the Ohio Field Leader Roadshow.